What's about to go down? Okay, they're fangirling up here in the front. I fucking love it. Alright, so what's about to go down is we're going to bring up our feature tonight. I made this announcement earlier and I want to make it again. We are live streaming. Hi, Internet. We're live streaming the show tonight on our YouTube channel. So if you got friends and family that live in Houston or don't live in Houston or have kids or something where they couldn't come out here tonight on Wednesday, let them know right now. Go ahead, pull out your phones. I'm going to let you pull out your phone right now. Pull out your phone, text them. Let them know, hey, go on the Right About Now YouTube channel. We're going to be live streaming. You can watch our feature, whose name I will not say until the end, our feature live on YouTube right now. Do it. I let my sister know I am a good older brother, okay? You be a good older sibling too, or younger sibling. Alright, a little bit about our feature tonight while you guys are letting them know. Not that this man needs any introduction, but he is one of the most recognizable names in spoken word poetry from San Diego, California. Oh God, what's happening? He is not only a poet, but an educator and an activist, especially when it comes to exposing spoken word and poetry to the youth of this world. He has shared the stage with such prominent artists as Gladys Knight, Jordan Sparks, Music Soul Child, and Jill Scott. He is the co-host of the largest poetry venue in San Diego. This year, he was part of the team that took second in the National Poetry Slam competition. I could say other things, but we are live streaming on the interweb, and I don't want to be quoted later. Right now, all I'm going to do is introduce our feature tonight. Y'all start building the noise. Start showing the love. A big Houston, Texas welcome to Rudy Francisco!
What up, Houston? How we doing? Nah, I said, what up, Houston? How we doing? So, my name is Rudy Francisco. Thank you. I'm gonna do some poems, right? And throughout these poems, if you like hear something that you like, right? Like you don't have to be silent. This isn't golf, you know what I mean? You can respond, right? Like you can snap your fingers and try it together. We can snap our fingers, right? That's easy. If you want to respond vocally, you can say something like, ooh, let's try it together. Ooh. You can say what? You can say let's go. Let's go. You guys want to amen, hallelujah, Jesus take the wheel, kill him, turn up. That's my best friend. That part. Y'all ready? Yeah. You ready for the first poem? Say let's go. Let's go. All right, here we go. Short poem. A few things that I strongly believe. I believe that sour apple flavored anything is delicious. I believe that orange juice tastes better with pulp. You don't fuck with that? Okay. I believe Cinnabon is made by angels. I like Arizona iced tea. But 24 ounces of anything for $1 is probably poison. For real. I believe that masculinity is a wet fish that most men are just trying to hold on to. And smiling before a fight is the quickest way to make your opponent nervous. I believe that music is easier to digest than medicine. I believe that a good song can turn any room into a church. I believe that Whitney Houston's voice is all the proof I need to know God exists. Thank you. You clap. All right, this next poem, I like to do it kind of as a warm-up poem. So I was in a workshop, and the assignment in the workshop was to pick an event, right, and then write to it as if it were a human being, right? So remember how like the world was supposed to end? Remember that? And then it like didn't, right? And then it was supposed to end again, and then it also didn't. And I thought about it, like if I was to write a letter to the apocalypse, like what would that sound like? This is what I came up with. If you're ready for the poem, say let's go. Let's go! A letter to the apocalypse. Dear Apocalypse, you've become the laughing stock of all disasters. I imagine hurricanes make fun of you. I bet your girlfriend is cheating on you with a snowstorm. Donald Trump says he wants to see your birth certificate. If you want a Grammy, Kanye West would interrupt you. Apocalypse, the people are laughing. They think you're just another prank call from God, a punchline in Revelations. They act like you're not the rapture, like you're not the last chapter of the Bible, like you're not wrath and lightning. Have some respect for yourself. Look them in the eye. Tell them that you're the Armageddon, a clenched fist waiting for a reason, a hammer in the right hand of divine intervention. They've clearly forgotten that you are hellfire and brimstone. They snicker when your name is mentioned in conversation. They put LOL next to your name on Twitter. They're laughing at you on Instagram. You need to do something to make these people respect you. I'm not saying that you should end the world. But you can at least knock over a mailbox. Sometimes you just gotta remind people, you still mean business. Thank you. So I was born on July 27th. That makes me a Leo. I have no idea what that means. I'm 5'6.5". I weigh 175 pounds. I don't know how to swim, and I'm a sucker for a girl with a nice smile and clean sneakers. I'm still learning how to whisper. I'm often loud in places where I should be quiet. I'm often quiet in places where I should be loud. I was born feet first, and I've been backwards ever since. I like ginger ale. A lot. I've been told that I give really bad hugs. People say that it feels like I'm trying to escape. Sometimes it's because I am. Secretly, I get really nervous every time someone gets close enough to hear me breathe. I have this odd fascination with things like sandcastles and ice sculptures. I assume it's because I usually find myself dedicating time to things that will only last a few moments. That's also why I tend to fall in love with women who will never love me back. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually much easier than it seems, and to be honest, I think it's safer that way. You see, relationships, they often remind me that I'm not afraid of heights or falling, but I'm scared of what's gonna happen the moment that my body hits the ground. I'm clumsy. Yesterday, I tripped over my self-esteem, I landed on my pride, and it shattered like an iPhone with a broken face. Now I can't even tell who's trying to give me a compliment. I've never been in the military, but I have this purple heart. I got it from beating myself up over things I can't fix. I know this sounds weird, but sometimes I wonder what my bed sheets say about me when I'm not around. I wonder what the curtains would do if they found out about all the things I've done behind their backs. I've got a hamper that's overflowing with really, really loud mistakes and a graveyard in my closet. I'm afraid that if I let you see my skeletons, you'll grind my bones into powder and get high on my fault lines. Hi, my name is Rudy. I enjoy frozen yogurt, people watching, and laughing for absolutely no reason at all. But I don't allow myself to cry as often as I need to. Yeah, I have solar power confidence. I have a battery-operated smile. My hobbies include editing my life story, hiding behind metaphors, and trying to convince my shadow that I'm someone worth following. I don't know much, but I do know this. I know heaven is full of music. I know God listens to my heartbeat on his iPod. It reminds him, but we still got work to do. Thank you. How many people were like really awkward in high school? Everybody. All right, so here we go. Here we go. So if you were to find an old calendar, like strap it to a hospital bed, tie it down by its weekends, C-section the belly of 1999, there you'll find a teenage version of me. Back when I was a tsunami of awkward moments splashing against the shoreline called Rochelle Moss. Yes. A young lady who introduced my jaw to the floor whenever she floated into our first period classroom. This girl was a dandelion seed straddling a wish. She was a dream I never thought would turn flesh and grin, but wire hangers like me, let's just say we don't become captain of the football team. The only thing that we're good at is stopping ourselves from saying I like you to a girl that holds the remote control to our smiles. We are blurry silhouettes against the backdrop of everything popular, often wearing our skin like a costume of someone we didn't feel comfortable pretending to be anyways. We swallow earthquakes and then we tremble at the smell of perfume. We are bashful, we are tongue-tied, and we are nervous in high definition. So the question is, if a boy falls for a girl that's out of his league and there's no one around to hear him, does he make a sound? The answer is hell, and the first two letters of nothing. When I was a senior in high school, I was a pocket full of chalk dust. I was elevator music on a CD that stuttered like a Volkswagen with a really bad transmission. At this age, I was a ballot box stuffed full of everyone's opinions except for my own. My swagger was like watching a Walkman trying to swallow a DVD. At this age, I walked as if I was concerned with how the ground would feel about my footsteps. And if I could just find a way to write a letter to that boy, that old sweater with itchy sleeves that I will someday grow out of, I would say there'll be days when you feel like a peacock without feathers. You'll feel flightless and undeserving of attention. But listen, you have to stop getting out of bed like you're an oil spill. You're not a flat tire at 2 a.m., so stop acting like an accident. Rudy, you're not an accident. Rudy, you're an apple on a pine tree in a room full of lemons. And you come from a long line of Swiss Army pocket knives, men who are small, sharp, and dangerous when not handled carefully. Some days I wish that my arms were 12 years long so I could reach all the way back there, grab you by the shoulders, punch you in the chest and say, listen, you are the main character in a movie that I watch every time I see the inside of my eyelids. I told myself that I wouldn't spoil the ending, but I will tell you this, your story starts off really slow. But it does get better. You don't have to believe me. Someday you'll see for yourself. And when you see Rochelle Moss at the senior prom, ignore the washing machine in your stomach. Tell her that she looks beautiful tonight. Extend your arm like a drawbridge to a castle that no one has visited in years. Say to her, will you dance with me? She says yes. Thank you. I think I got time for two more. Two more? All right. Oh, okay. I got time? Okay, cool. All right, so this next poem, all right, I'm not even going to introduce it. I'm just going to do it. Here we go. So there's this thing. It's called volcano surfing. It's a sport in which an individual rides down an active volcano at speeds up to 50 miles per hour using nothing but a wooden board. When I first heard about this activity, I thought to myself, it must be nice to feel so safe you have to invent new ways to put yourself in danger. Now, when the body thinks that it may be swallowing its last breath, the adrenal glands release hormones into the blood. The skin becomes a cocktail of sweat and fear. The heart gets claustrophobic. It pounds against the chest like it needs to see what's on the other side. The lungs become newlyweds holding hands in a crashing airplane. This is called an adrenaline rush. I was like, 18 when I started driving. I was like 18 the first time I was pulled over. The officer spilled his lights all over my rearview mirror. He splashed out of his car with his hand already on his weapon. He looked at me the way a tsunami looks at a beach house, and I could tell that he's the kind of man who brings a gun to a food fight. He called me son, and I thought to myself, he called me son, and I thought to myself, that's an interesting way of pronouncing boy. He asked for my license, registration, wants to know what I'm doing in this neighborhood, if the car is stolen, if I have any drugs, and most days, y'all, I know how to grab my voice by the handle. I know how to swing it like a hammer, but instead, I picked it up like a shard of glass, scared of what might happen if I didn't hold on to it carefully, because I know that this much melanin, that uniform is a plotline to a film that can easily end with the chalk outline baptism. Me trying to make a body bag look stylish for the camera and becoming the newest coat in a closet full of RIP hashtags. Once, a friend of a friend asked me why there weren't more black people in the X Games, and I said, you don't get it. Being black is one of the most extreme sports in America. We don't need to invent new ways of risking our lives because the old ones have been working for decades. Jim Crow may have left the nest, but our streets are still covered in its feathers. Being black in America is knowing there's a thin line between a traffic stop and the cemetery. It's the way my body tenses whenever I hear a police siren in a song. It's the quiver in my stomach whenever there's a cop car behind me. It's the sigh of relief when I turn right and he doesn't. Being black in America is knowing. Being black in America is knowing that you're not safe in a hoodie, a t-shirt, a tuxedo. Being black in America is knowing that you aren't safe in a church, at a pool, in a classroom. Hell, I don't need to go volcano surfing. I have an adrenaline rush every time an officer drives past without pulling me over. And I realize I'm gonna make it home safe. Well, this time. Thank you.
Y'all make some noise for Rudy if you've enjoyed the poet so far. Alright, Rudy, let me ask you a couple questions. One, did you bring any merch with you?
Yes, I did. I have chapbooks with me.
Oh, he's got some chapbooks for sale. How much are your chapbooks?
They're $10.
Only $10? You can't afford not to buy it!
That's right, y'all. He got chapbooks for sale at $10.
Yeah.
You can definitely support him. He flew all the way from San Diego just to do this show, y'all. Just to be here for you. Alright. He's going to be hanging out up at the front over there. If you want to go talk to him after the show, buy one of his chapbooks. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pass around this tip jar. All the money that you put in this tip jar is going to go directly to him. So if you want to support him, if you don't want to buy a chapbook, if you can't afford to buy a chapbook, if you want to buy a chapbook and give him some money, you can totally do all of the above. I'm going to pass this tip jar around. I'm going to shut the book up. And I'm going to let Rudy do, I think, what, like 3, 4 more poems, something like that? Yeah. Make some noise for Rudy. Let's go.
How we doing? We still good? Alright, so I'm from San Diego, right? And we got people from San Diego in the building? Anybody? No? Just me? Okay, cool. So I'm from San Diego, and what's very interesting about San Diego is that, like, it's a very expensive city to live in, right? Like, there are neighborhoods that are in, like, pretty much abject poverty, and they live in, like, houses that cost, like, $400,000. Like, it's crazy, right? Because all the money that people make pretty much goes to housing themselves. So they end up in poverty, right? And I remember growing up, I grew up in, like, the inner city of San Diego. And I remember one time I came across a brochure, right? And it was a San Diego brochure, and I looked in it, and the city just looked beautiful, right? But like there was nobody who looked like me in the pamphlet. You know, like my neighborhood wasn't in the pamphlet. And I thought to myself, I was like, San Diego is trying to tell people that we don't exist. So then I went home and I wrote like my city, right? And I just kind of filled in the blanks. And I revisited that topic a few years ago. So I'm gonna do that poem. Y'all ready? So I'm gonna do that poem. Y'all ready? Yeah. Right, short poem.
Let's go.
My city. Oh, my city. My city loves New York. loves DC, Chicago, Philly. My city wants to be LA, but doesn't really want to be LA. My city is so confused. My city is scared of commitment. It's scared of being honest. My city wants you to believe it's just like the brochures. My city isn't exactly like the brochures. My city will take diversity out of a closet because it loves to work during photo shoots, but then puts it all back when the flashes are done. My city wants you to believe that it's all sand and acceptance, all tolerance and palm trees. My city loves to wear makeup. But if you look close enough, you will see all the cracks in the foundation. My city is actually a tapestry of chain link fences. My city is barking dogs. My city is broken glass. My city is garbage cans spitting into the face of an avenue that won't stick up for itself. My city is a family photograph missing a father in a frame. It's a mosh pit of pregnant girls dancing with the shadow of boys who aren't ready for responsibility. It's where's my daddy? It's he ain't here. It's I don't need a man to raise one. My city is damn near raising itself. The belly of night is filled with police sirens. The grass is wilting. The trees are begging to be uprooted. It seems like everything on this side of town is just looking for a way out. Thank you. How y'all doing? Y'all still good? Thank you. That's new. I never heard that before. You know what? What? All right. So I'll do complainers. All right, and then I'll do love poem medley. I'll do those two. All right. I'll do love poem medley first. Y'all are hilarious. I love it. Alright. So the first part of this poem is called To the Girl Who Works at Starbucks Down the Street from My House on Delmar Heights Road. Swear to God, I'm not a stalker. When I asked you for a chai latte, what I meant to say was, I was walking past, I saw you in the window, I came in here because I just had to know what your voice sounded like. Instead of saying that, I got really nervous and ordered the first thing on the menu. I don't even know what chai is. Or a latte, for that matter. I imagine that when God made you, I bet he cussed for the first time. I bet he turned to an angel, gave him a high five, and said, God damn, I'm good. You were that beautiful. I spent the last 3 days trying to figure out how I'm going to introduce myself to you properly. I finally figured it out. It's going to be something like, hi. That's all I got so far. But I think it's a good start. I'm going to be honest, it's not often that I find myself eager to write about love. In fact, every time I try to write about love, my hands cramp. Just to show me how painful love can be. Sometimes my pencils break just to prove to me that every now and then love takes a little more work than you plan. I heard that love is blind, so I write all my poems in Braille. And my poems are never actually finished because true love is endless. I've always believed that real love is kind of like a supermodel before she's airbrushed. It's pure and imperfect, just the way that God intended. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not much of a love poet. But if I was to wake up tomorrow morning and decide that I was really gonna write about love, my first poem would be about you. About how I love you the same way I learned how to ride a bike. Scared, but reckless, with no training wheels or elbow pads so my scars can tell the story of how I fell for you. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not much of a love poet. But if I was, I'd write about how I see your face in every cloud and your reflection in every window. You see, I've written a million poems, hoping that somehow, maybe some way you'll jump out of the page and be closer to me. Because if you were here right now, I would massage your back until your skin sings songs that your lips don't even know the words to. Until your heartbeat sounds like my last name and you smile like the Pacific Ocean. I want to drink the sunlight in your skin. And if I was a love poet, I'd write about how you have the audacity to be beautiful even on days when everything around you is ugly. I'd write about your eyelashes and how they are like violin strings that play symphonies every time you blink. If I was a love poet, I'd write about how if I was a love poet, I'd write about how, I would write about how you're beautiful even on days when everything around you is ugly. I'd write about your eyelashes and how they're like violin strings that play symphonies every time you blink. If I was a love poet, I write about how I melt in front of you like an ice sculpture every time I hear the vibration in your voice, and whenever I see your name on the caller ID, my heart plays hopscotch inside of my chest. It climbs onto my ribs like monkey bars, and I feel like a child all over again. I know it's gonna sound weird, but sometimes I pray that God somehow turns you back into one of my ribs just so I would never have to spend an entire day without you. And I swear, I'm usually not a love poet. But if I was to wake up tomorrow morning and decide that I was gonna write about love, my first poem would be about you. After all of that, she was like, but how do you feel about me? And I said, well, put it like this. I want to be your ex-boyfriend's stuntman. I want to do everything he never had the courage to do. Like, I want to do everything he never had the courage to do, like trust you. I swear that when our lips touch, I can taste the next 60 years of my life. See, last night I had a dream. In this particular dream, I died in my dreams, awoke not knowing I was still asleep and decided to walk. You see, that night, I walked in my sleep, I slept in my walk, I walked backwards until I saw you for the first time, and I could barely muster the courage to introduce myself all over again. You see, I've been trying to find the right words, I've been trying to take the right steps for what seems to me like thousands of years, but something always seems to go wrong between us. We lived in Egypt, I was the Pharaoh's slave, you were his daughter, loving you led to my death. They claimed I seduced you, and after they stole my life, I was resurrected as a mason. I made the foundation for your house. We met eyes for 2 seconds. You left and I didn't see you again until I died. I came back as a caterpillar. I turned into a butterfly. I landed in the palm of your hands. You brushed me away and the rejection killed me. When I woke, I was a kick drum. You were a snare. We were both owned by this drummer named Cozy Cole, and when he died, so did we, but I came back just to look for you. I left notes in random places hoping that you would stumble across them. I carved our names in trees and then prayed that it would jog your memory. I whispered your name in the wind, hoping somehow, maybe some way my voice would reach you, but it didn't, and I died. I died early. I died young with breadcrumbs in my hand, just hoping that you would find me, but you never did, so they buried me. When they buried me, they put these coins over my eyes, and I used them as bus fare to get back to earth, just so I could look for you. That's why sometimes when we hold hands, every so often I hold on a little too tight. I just don't want to lose you again. Yes! My mother told me, when you find the perfect woman, you gotta do whatever it takes to make sure she stays next to you. Thank you.
Hey, Rudy. We got a request. We got about like 200 plus people here in front of you.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I know, right? Voice of God. Okay, yeah. We got like 200 plus people here in front of you.
Yeah.
Can you say hi to them?
Hey, what's up, 200 plus people? How we doing?
We got like over 100 people watching on the live YouTube live stream.
Oh, that's awesome.
And they've requested that you say hi to them. So can you look into the camera and just say hi to people watching at home?
Shout out to everybody watching at home. Super appreciate the love. Hopefully I'll be coming to a city near you very soon and you'll be able to watch this in person. But for now, thank you so much for supporting.
Now make some noise for Rudy Francisco. We got another poem for you.
Yeah. All right, so last poem. Y'all ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
The following are all true stories.
Yeah, do this shit,
All right. The following are all true stories.
Yeah. Don't cut that donkey.
May 26, 2003, Aaron Ralston was hiking A boulder fell on his right hand. He waited 4 days. Then he amputated his own arm with a pocket knife. On New Year's Eve, a woman was bungee jumping in Zimbabwe. The cord broke. She then fell into a river and had to swim back to land in crocodile-infested waters with a broken collarbone. Claire Champlin was smashed in the face by a 5-pound watermelon being propelled by a slingshot. Matthew Brobus was hit by a javelin. David Striegel was actually punched in the mouth by a kangaroo. The most amazing part of these stories is when asked about the experience, they all smiled, shrugged, and said, I guess things could have been worse. So go ahead. Tell me that you're having a bad day. Tell me about the traffic. Tell me about your boss. Tell me about the job you've been trying to quit for the past 4 years. Tell me the morning the job you've been trying to quit for the past 4 years. Tell me the morning is a townhouse burning to the ground. Tell me the snooze button is a fire extinguisher. Tell me the alarm clock stole the keys to your smile, drove it into 7 a.m. and the crash totaled your happiness. Tell me how blessed are we to have tragedy so small it can fit on the tips of our tongues. You see, when Evan lost his legs, he was speechless. When my cousin was assaulted, she didn't speak for 48 hours. When my uncle was murdered, we had to send out a search party to find my father's voice. Most people have no idea that tragedy and silence often have the exact same address. So when your day is a museum of disappointments hanging from events that were outside of your control, when you find yourself flailing in an ocean of why is this happening to me, when it feels like your guardian angel put in his two-week notice 2 months ago and just decided not to tell you, when it feels like God is a babysitter that's always on the phone, when you get punched in the esophagus by a fistful of life, remember that every year 2 million people die of dehydration. So it doesn't matter if the glass is half full or half empty, there's water in the cup. Drink that shit and stop complaining. Muscle is created by repeatedly lifting things that have been designed to weigh us down. So when your shoulders feel heavy, you gotta stand up straight. You gotta lift your chin. You gotta call it exercise. Remember that life is a gym membership with a really complicated cancellation policy. Remember that you will survive. Remember things could be worse. Remember we are never given anything that we can't handle. When the world crumbles around you, sometimes you gotta look at the wreckage and then build a new one out of all the pieces that are still here. Remember that you are still here. The human heart beats approximately like 4,000 times per hour, and each pulse and each throb and each palpitation is a trophy engraved with the words, you are still alive. You are still alive. So act like it. Thank you. That's my time, Houston.
Houston, make some noise for Rudy Francisco! Yo, show some love for the poet. All the way from San Diego, California, Rudy Francisco! He's going to be hanging out over there at the front. He's got merch for sale, chapbooks for $10. We already discussed that, so go talk to him, go buy a chapbook. Once again, this is Right About Now. We are having a Right About Now block dance party this Friday, right here. Derek Brown, Good Ghost Bill, Eddie Connor, 2 to 3 beaches. I don't know, it's going to be an amazing time, so be here on Friday. This is all possible thanks to you guys. You are a community. Thank you for being here. We absolutely appreciate it. We ask that you help us maintain this community. If you brought a chair from the front of the house, please take it back to the front of the house. If there is trash at your table, throw it in a trash can. You got an empty glass, take it to the bar. We're here because of you. We're here for you. We're only here with you. So please, take care of yourself. Take care of each other. My name is Chibi. It's been a pleasure being your host. Thank you so much. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.